Mr. Transformers 96 here in the video review. This time I'm going to be talking about some newly shown Marvel Legends figures, mainly their deluxe figures, so Apocalypse and War Machine. So Hasbro just recently showed and announced a bunch of new Marvel Legends figures. I've already made a video talking about the retro style series for Spider-Man. I'm doing this kind of deluxe Legends video, and I'll also be making one more talking about some of the big figures that they kind of announced, haven't shown yet for the upcoming year. But going over Apocalypse here, what's interesting with these deluxe figures is it's something relatively new that Hasbro is starting, where they're doing, a deluxe figure comes in the same style packaging, but it's slightly bigger, and then it's at a $30 price range instead of $20. They are kind of doing it one of two different ways. Either they're releasing a big figure, like they are here, or they're releasing a regular size figure but with a bunch of accessories, basically what they're doing with War Machine. Going over Apocalypse, I'm a fan of Apocalypse as a character. This is a very interesting rendition of him. It's the kind of Age of Apocalypse look. To me, it's rather 90s looking, basically. I think that it's a neat look. I love the face sculpt with the big smile. I think that it looks awesome. The fact that he comes with a skull accessory I think is really cool as well. I think that he looks really nice. Just personally, costume-wise, this is not one of my favorite looks for Apocalypse. Figure-wise, though, I think it looks great. I really do think it looks like a nice figure. It's, build-a-figure size, essentially, which is very cool. And again, I think that face sculpt, the big smiling one, is rather perfect. I think it's really awesome. But overall, I just, color-wise, it's got the really bright blue with just red accents, basically at the end of his limbs, and then a black cape. It looks a little odd to me. I don't think that the colors mesh very well. Not to say that Hasbro did anything wrong here. It's just my personal preference. This is not one of my favorite looks for Apocalypse. Although I like the character a lot, it does make me want to get this figure. The actual Build-A-Figure Apocalypse that I have is done in the style of Apocalypse that I much prefer, so I think that I'm probably good. If I can get this one on a bit of a discount, I think that I'll definitely pick it up, but for full price, I don't know if this one's worth it to me, but I do think that it does look like a really nice figure overall, as you can see. Very cool. Again, this face sculpt and the skull accessory are really selling it for me, to be honest. Going over War Machine, this is interesting because when it comes to these deluxe figures, the ones that are big, I tend to prefer. Now, the ones that are just kind of normal size figures with a bunch of accessories, typically I haven't been too interested in. This is the first one that's really caught my attention, though. I actually think that the accessories with him are really awesome. Not to mention, although he is a standard size figure, he's a little bit bigger than your average size figure, so that helps a little bit too. But I do think that this looks like a really nice figure as far as the accessories being really fun. A lot of times I think that when they do it like this, and with the most recent kind of Black Widow release, a lot of those accessories I thought were very just kind of filler. While these accessories look legitimately fun, it looks like it'll be great to pose them with them. And yeah, overall, look at that. That just looks awesome. The kind of booster pieces for the feet I think are really cool. Allows you to get kind of a higher stance and represent the flying nature of the Iron Man suits. But the weapons accessories I think are awesome. The blasting effect for the cannon over here. The rocket is my favorite one. I really like this, where it's shooting out and like all the rockets are flying out. It looks awesome. There's a lot of motion there. It looks really cool. This is one of my favorite accessories too, where it looks like he's in motion. It kind of shows you where his arm was, and he's throwing it up, and then it's firing as he's moving up his arm. I think that that's pretty awesome. Come to think of it, though, logically, the first bullet that was fired, which is this one, should be the longest one, and then it should go smaller and smaller going up. That's interesting. Nonetheless, though, I do think that it looks really cool. Yeah, so here's a good shot of them all. So as you can see, basically you get this, like I mentioned, the one that's kind of shooting. You get the rocket. You get the larger firing one, which goes here. What's interesting, I would expect this one to go here, because this is clearly the rocket launcher. Wait. Oh, they just have it reversed in the picture. Okay. So yeah, so the rocket launcher goes here. The big blast goes here. Obviously, these peg into the feet. If you want just a single shot, you know, maybe just one coming out of each of those barrels, they have single shots. They also have smoke effect accessories, which I think is really cool to make it look like he's just fired off a round and his gun is kind of smoking. I'll be curious to see if any of these are interchangeable. I don't think that it is the case, but it would be cool if you could use the smoke effects up here or up here. I don't know if that'll plug in though. It looks like these 4 pieces all just plug in here. Same thing with this one, and then these accessories have to be plugged in up here. But it would be cool if they were a bit interchangeable. He does come with a Roadie Head sculpt as well, which I think is nice. Let's see if, yeah, so here you can see where it's just the single shots. I don't think there is a picture of him with that head sculpt on though, but the blast effects look really cool. There we go. Okay, there is. So here he is with the Roadie head sculpt, which I think looks nice. He's got a very square head, but I think that the helmet looks cooler. The smoke effects, I don't like the way that they're posed here. It's odd that they like are coming out in 2 separate ways. Not to mention the smoke effects should be going up. So if you had his arm, you know, down and then you pointed the smoke effects up, it would look really cool. The way that they did it, it looks like he's just shooting goo out of the cannon or something. It just looks a little stupid. But yeah, really cool. This is you know, one of those times where I think that the accessories are just awesome with him, to be honest. They look great. Yeah, very cool. You know, when it comes to War Machine here, I had been more interested in getting War Machine. I haven't pre-ordered him yet. After like really going into these pictures in depth though and kind of talking about it, it's kind of made me want to pre-order him right when I turn off the video, to be quite honest. That's interesting because usually I have a firm grasp if I'm going to pre-order or not, you know, before I start the video. But just talking about him and taking a look at the pictures and everything, it's made me want him even more. A really cool figure though. I think it's awesome. And again, this is one of those situations where I think the accessories look really fun as opposed to just filler stuff so that they can charge an extra $10. So overall, I think that this looks like an awesome figure. Really impressed with War Machine. Nothing else I could have wanted from him. I think that he comes with everything that I could have wanted. Yeah, I can't think of a single accessory that I think would have been cool for them to add with him. And then as far as Apocalypse, looks like a fun figure, and I think that they've done him well. It's just, personally, I'm not a fan of this costume design for Apocalypse. But there you go, that's my thoughts on the Marvel Legends Deluxe figures that have been shown. Let me know what you guys think of them, and thanks so much for watching.